Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Oxygen Not Included. We're back here with Joshua, Marie, Mima, and Sarah in the Lookless dystopia. We're at the end of Cycle 7, and for the most part, things are going pretty well. We've almost unlocked sanitation in the research tree, which will give us access to the lavatory and the shower, and also to the hand sanitizer, all of which are going to greatly increase the sanitation levels of our colony. If we check out the reports, we're doing pretty well on oxygen. If we look at yesterday's report, Cycle 7, we were very close to an equilibrium when it comes to oxygen added and oxygen removed from our colony. Power-wise, we are producing way more power than we need to produce. We're producing nearly 90 kilojoules of power and only using 26.3, with a whole 21 kilojoules being wasted because of these inefficient batteries, which do lose power over time. And so what I think I'm going to do here at the beginning of the episode is quickly change the battery recharge threshold, because right now the way that we have our colony set up is to where Sarah will be on this wheel constantly as long as there is space in any one of our, I think, 6 batteries. Is that how many we have? Yeah, we've got 6 batteries, and so if there is any free space in any one of those 6 batteries, Sarah will be on this wheel trying to fill them up. And I don't think that that's necessarily necessary. I think we could probably get away with pulling this down probably all the way to like 60%, maybe even lower, because at least as of right now, the only things that we really need to keep going throughout the night are the algae deoxidizers. Everything else within the base that uses power doesn't need to be running during the evening. And I also want to free up Sarah a little bit today, because I do want to work quite a bit on expansion, kind of over to the left here and building out the base a little bit more, and getting a few more platforms set up, because as of right now, I'll pause the game real quick, because I want to get some more research set up in a second, but as of right now, our base is very cramped and everything's just kind of been slapped down willy-nilly wherever it will fit. For example, this little area over here, we've got the power generator, we've got 1 singular battery, the research station, 2 algae deoxidizers, and a supercomputer, all just crammed together. And although it works, one thing that I would like to start working on now is make the base look just a little bit nicer, especially whilst our colony is doing fairly well. Like right now, we're at a good equilibrium where oxygen is being produced about as much as it's being consumed. Power is being generated way in excess of any amount that we're going to need to use. Our stress levels are all the way down to 0 for everybody, which is great, and we've got a good amount of water. And so I want to take a little bit of time here whilst things are looking good for us to expand out and just make the base look a little bit nicer, as well as trying to keep on top of research and also keeping an eye on everything to make sure everything stays stable, at least for the time being. So, let's jump back into the research station real quick. The next thing that I want to work on here is gas piping, so we'll set that going. It shouldn't take too long. It doesn't require the supercomputer. It's just a basic research that's done in the standard research station. And also, I think I noticed that yesterday we didn't produce any food. No, we didn't. Yesterday we produced 0 calories, which is why we're down to just shy of 12,000 calories in total now. And so let me just queue up a couple more of these mush bars here. I'm going to go ahead and queue up 6 today. We don't necessarily need 6, and we do still have a good backlog of calories, but just to kind of compensate for the lack of mush bars produced yesterday, we'll produce just a couple of extra today. And like I said, I want to expand out over here to the left. So my plan here is to make a couple of platforms that are all about the same size. And so between episodes, I counted out that this platform here is 15 tiles wide. And so I also want this platform here to be 15 tiles wide, which I think comes to about here is where I think it comes to. So that would be the 15th tile. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the deconstruct tool. I'm going to deconstruct these 3 tiles here, as well as these 2 tiles here. We're going to have the same system over on this side that we have here in the center. We're going to have one ladder that goes all the way up through the middle here, and then either side of that ladder, we're going to have an empty space to help with the movement of gas around the base, at least until we unlock those gas permeable tiles, at which point we can get the whole base to be a lot more gas permeable in general. Also, it would seem that we have got like some sand that fell through here. Oh, okay, so if I break this, I'm guessing the sand doesn't defy the laws of gravity and will actually fall down into our base, which is not something that I knew about, but I guess we can just go ahead and kind of just clear this up. Is it like I'm assuming it's a dig job? I'm assuming we can't just like clear this out with a sweep, but we'll get rid of that and then we'll schedule a dig command up here to just clear out a bit more space along at the top here, as well as building some ladders that are hopefully going to go, I think, just down the middle like that. And then of course go here and here and here and here and here, like so. Cool. All right, so let's speed things up a little bit. Let's see if we can get this stuff done fairly quickly here. Mima and Sarah are becoming a little bit stressed. I'm not quite sure why. Dirty hands and grimy is the same true for Mima, wherever she is. She's got dirty hands, grimy, and light wounds, which is not the best. We might have to invest in a little bit of a medical bed, although At 1 or 2% stress, I think they should be okay for now, and I'm hoping that when they go to bed, that stress will start to dissipate. And then once we build this new area over here, we can start throwing down things like the hand sanitizer, like the lavatory, like the shower, which would hopefully start to decrease some of the stress that they're receiving from things like dirty hands and from being grimy. And so, whilst they are working on clearing out this area over here, let's do the same thing that we've done before. I'm fairly certain that that is 15 tiles wide, and so should be the perfect amount for our new platform here. And essentially, we are going to just dig out like this whole area, like, I guess this. It's going to be a pretty big dig command, but that's the area that I want them to get rid of so we can build some new platforms like this. That's a lot of digging that needs to get done, but we'll do all that, clear out all this area over here. This might start to cause a bit of an issue with oxygen. You can see that the oxygen is not quite as dense over here, and so what we might have to do fairly soon is put down another algae deoxidizer kind of over in this area once this is all cleared out, and maybe even before this is all cleared out, it might be a good idea. Yeah, you know what, we'll throw down another algae deoxidizer for the time being right about here, and then whilst everybody is sleeping, let's quickly run over a power line like so, through the floor, all the way along, and into the power line like that. And eventually we will continue this down. We'll like get rid of these tiles and have the ladder continue down through to here, but right now we've got water over here, and so that wouldn't be the best idea in the world, because then the water would flood over and across all of our fully charged batteries. And although I'm not certain that the game has like a fully implemented conduction of electricity, I don't think it would be a good thing for our batteries to be covered with water, or anything else down here for that matter. And I definitely don't think that it would help with the stress for people who try to go down to the outhouse and instead get electrocuted by the water that's passing over the batteries. And so for now, we're just not going to go down any further just yet, at least not until we can move this water to other locations. And already this thing is online and producing a little bit of oxygen. And despite what I just said, I think I am in fact going to deconstruct, which is X, I believe. We're going to deconstruct these three here, and I am going to dig down just to give this carbon dioxide that's being produced here somewhere to go, because right now it has to go all the way along here and then down through this like open area to get to our algae terrariums and to get to the lower levels where we want our carbon dioxide to be. And so if we clear out this area here, that shouldn't be low enough down for any water to pass through, but should be enough space for some of the carbon dioxide that's being produced here to sink down and drop into this area down here, where the algae terrariums can start doing their thing and start dissipating some of that carbon dioxide and turning it into oxygen. Although someone did point out in the comment section, I'm not sure if it's a bug or whether or not this is just actually how it works, but right now if you look at the menu here, you'll see that the algae terrarium is consuming 333.6 or 333.3 a second ago milligrams of carbon dioxide per second, but it's emitting 44 grams of oxygen per second. And so this thing is producing way more oxygen than it is consuming in carbon dioxide, like a massive factor more oxygen is being produced than carbon dioxide being consumed. And so having these around is going to greatly increase just the air pressure of our base in general, which I believe is actually quite a good thing. And you can see already that the oxygen over here is slightly more breathable, and there's a little bit less carbon dioxide around. This stuff over here has got a low concentration of oxygen, but hopefully the oxygen will kind of spread out over into this area as the air pressure in the base goes up. We are starting to see a couple more pockets of carbon dioxide all around us here, which is not the best. Did we complete the research for gas piping? We did, and therefore it might not be a bad idea to actually start throwing down a couple of these gas permeable tiles around the base just to try and get rid of even more of this carbon dioxide, try and make sure that all of it is as low down as it can possibly be. And so you know what, let me grab a couple of these gas permeable tiles. We've got a fair amount of copper ore. We've got 11,000. It only requires 100 per gas permeable tile. And so you know what, I'm going to go through and quickly replace, not that one, let's cancel that. I'm just going to quickly replace a couple of the tiles in this first, and I don't want to do that one either. We'll get rid of that, and I'm actually going to deconstruct that entirely, as well as this one and quickly replace that with a ladder once it's ready. But we'll replace all of these middle layers here with gas permeable tile and see how much of an effect it has on the amount of carbon dioxide kind of in this area. And if it proves to work out quite nicely, then we'll do the same thing over on the left and on the right at some point. Let's speed things up again, try and get this done fairly quickly. Let's throw down a ladder right about there to let people get backwards and forwards. And then also, we might as well continue it down like so if people want to get down to the bottom level from this side. And looking at this, we should probably also not open up the consumables menu, which apparently the hotkey for that is F. I meant to hit G and instead dig out this area over here, because right now having these gas permeable tiles is not going to be of any use if all the gas just kind of stops here because it can't go through the rock. And yeah, already you can see some of this carbon dioxide is kind of flowing down through the base, and there's a lot I don't know about a lot less of it here, but not all of it's been updated yet. We'll see. I'll hold off on checking that out until all that stuff is done. We are also probably going to have to invest in a couple more storage compactors because, as you can see, the base here now is just covered in stuff on the floor that needs sweeping up. And thankfully, we've got a couple more mealwood seeds as well, so we can probably expand out our kind of array of planter boxes to the edge of this platform. And I'm also planning to have those continue out and along over here as well, so that we've got a bunch of plants ready to be harvested. And again, try and move away from the micro musher as fast as possible. Speaking of the micro musher, I think again, yeah, I didn't actually schedule any mush bars yesterday, and so we didn't produce any calories. And so again, just to try and even things out a little bit here, I'm going to schedule 6 mush bars for creation tomorrow, which these guys are going to do right away here. But things are not looking too bad. We do have a large amount of carbon dioxide towards the bottom of the base here, and we're also not currently researching anything, which is a problem. Now, I think the next research that I'm going to go for is percolation, because this one unlocks the air scrubber, which filters carbon dioxide and removes it from the air, which I definitely want to have. So we'll select that, and what that's going to allow us to do is probably put one of those down here at the bottom. Maybe I might clear out a bit of space and put it here, or maybe even remove this algae terrarium and put it right here. But as I pointed out a second ago, these algae terrariums are consuming a very, very small amount of carbon dioxide, and so having another way just to kind of remove it from the air automatically would be really, really useful. So Sarah's back on the wheel. She should be done fairly soon today, because again, we don't need all these batteries filled up too much. Mima's working on research, which is good. Marie is working on setting up some mush bars with Joshua, and then now she's done with that, she's building some more of these gas permeable tiles, which is good as well. We've got a lot of stuff scheduled right now. I'm somewhat tempted to get a 5th duplicate, but I feel like that would be somewhat short-sighted. I don't think we necessarily need one just yet. Although it would speed up the process of getting all this stuff done, I don't think that right now we necessarily need one for the long term. Once all of this construction is done, I think things will kind of cool down a little bit and everyone will get back to their kind of normal jobs. Marie is not happy right now whatsoever. Her stress level is up at 15%, which is not great. And one thing that we haven't actually made yet that we should probably look into at some point soon is one of these massage tables. Now, I'm not quite sure if we necessarily need one just yet, because stress is only at 16%. And so you know what? I'm going to hold off. If somebody's stress gets above, let's say 25%, then I think I'll throw one down and try and get their stress levels a little bit lower. I'm glad that they're using water from over here. That means that we can probably expand out into this area, hopefully fairly soon, which would be nice. Sarah needs the toilet. Hopefully she goes before anything happens. She did. Good stuff, good stuff. Marie is getting stuff done on the percolation, which is also almost done, which is good. I want to get that air scrubber completed as fast as possible, and I am very quickly here going to bump up the priority of this area to like a 6, just to try and make sure that these gas permeable tiles are actually getting the job done. I'm fairly certain that they should be able to reach most of this. Can you reach up to that top block there? I think that he can, but I'm actually not entirely sure that they can. They've all stopped, and so I'm going to assume the answer is no, they can't get up there. And so what we might have to do temporarily here is like grab a ladder and just build a little bit of a ladder that goes up like that, just so that people can kind of stand here and try and get rid of all the stuff around it, and then we can get rid of the ladder once all that is done. I think that's another piece of research completed. I'm not going to set another one going just yet, because I would rather have, for the time being at least, Mima working on trying to help with some of this construction that we're doing throughout the base. Look at this, all the stuff is starting to get done here, but not quickly enough in my opinion. They're all sleeping again, which is good. How did we do yesterday in the report? We produced 246 kilograms of oxygen, which is actually more than we removed. We netted 11 kilograms of oxygen yesterday, probably due to the fact that we've got this algae terrarium now, which is good. It doesn't have any power, which is strange. Is it not connected up? Is it not all connected up to these battery lines? Oh, it's not. It's just completely disconnected. Okay, let me schedule this as well to be fixed first thing in the morning, so this thing can keep going overnight. Although, to be fair, it's not really too big of a deal if this one is offline in the evening, because this area over here is very highly concentrated with oxygen, and it probably wouldn't make too much of a difference if we had that on overnight. So this is almost done. I don't think they can reach these 2 areas over here, and so we are going to have to throw down another little bit of a ladder kind of here. While they're working on that, we can deconstruct this ladder like that, and then we're probably also going to have to put one down like this so that they can reach these 4 as well. But it's working really nicely. You can see there's very little carbon dioxide or anything apart from oxygen in the area directly above all of these gas permeable tiles. It is causing quite the problem lower down. You can see down here we're having a bit of an issue when it comes to carbon dioxide in our bottom area, which isn't too big of a deal, but it is a pretty big deal when you consider that people have to use the outhouse, and right now, to use the outhouse, they have to essentially go without oxygen for a few minutes whilst they do their business. And so, let's quickly look here. Do we have the air scrubber? We do. How big is this thing? It is 2x2. So let me deconstruct this guy. I will quickly throw that back down, like right here on the other side of the outhouse, just to make sure that the amount of oxygen that we're producing kind of stays at a nice equilibrium. But then we'll throw the air scrubber down over here and try and get rid of some of the excess carbon dioxide that's down here in the lower level. This thing is now done. It does require power, and it also requires a liquid intake and a liquid output. Okay, so I guess what we're going to have to do here, first things first, let's grab our electrical cable and let's hook that up like that. But I think now we're going to have to get a pump of some kind, a water pump. Because if we go to pipe, we can have a liquid pipe that comes in and a liquid pipe that goes out. Now I'm going to assume that the liquid that we output is going to be polluted. So what we're going to do here, we're going to throw down a pump right about, I kind of want to put it here, but I feel like it might be worthwhile putting it maybe down here because we're still using this water for all of our food. And so you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. Right now they can't access that, but we should be able to fix that. And so what we'll do is we'll deconstruct these three. We'll deconstruct, I guess, cancel. We'll cancel that and that because we need the algae terrariums to stay there. But we'll get rid of that, and then we'll dig all the way down like this, and then across kind of like that. And I'm going to upgrade the priority here because I want this air scrubber to be ready kind of as fast as possible. So let's bump this up to a priority of 6. And so hopefully everyone should get down here once they're done with kind of their primary job and make this liquid pump reachable. And then I think what we might have to do is set up like another kind of septic tank over here where all of the excess water from the air scrubber goes, because I'm assuming, again, the water that comes out of this is going to be polluted water. How are we doing down here? It's not too bad, and also by doing this, the carbon dioxide is going to fall even further, which might just solve our problem entirely. We might not even have to have the air scrubber online, but we'll do it for now. We'll see how things work. We are definitely going to need a few more of the storage compactors to store all of this stuff, but outside of the very highly concentrated area of carbon dioxide that we have over here, everything else is actually doing fairly well. The area up here is not doing as well as I would like, but if we replace a couple of these here with gas permeable tiles, I think that problem should be resolved fairly quickly. So Mima's working down here to get this done. It's going to be a bit tricky for them to do this because it is not at all breathable down here, and so they are going to have to pop back up every now and again to take a little bit of a breath of fresh air, but hopefully they can get this done. Is this prioritized highly? It is not. This is, but the ladders aren't. So let me quickly upgrade this to a 6 as well, like that, to hopefully get some more people down there. Day 11, things still look pretty good. I still need to keep on top of these mush bars. Let's schedule another 6 for tomorrow. We're still doing fine on food. We got 4,794 calories in total, which is fine. Oxygen is still okay. We netted an extra 124 kilograms yesterday, which is fantastic. Power usage is fine. We're producing 92 and only using 41. We're wasting a lot less now, which is good. Before, at the start of the episode, we were wasting, 21.3 kilojoules a day. Now we're only wasting a couple of hundred joules on some days. Yesterday, we did waste 2.6 kilojoules, but that's fine. Calorie generation, like I said, I need to keep on top of that. Stress change is quite high, and so it's actually probably about time that we set down one of these massage tables. I'll put it like right there for the time being. Now, one of the new changes is that the massage table does require power in the newest update, so we are going to have to do something like this. How is pretty much everybody is stressed at this point, which is not great. It's probably due to all of the new conditions that we're putting people in. A lot of people are down here working on stuff like this, which is very stressful due to the fact that the people can't breathe, which is not the best thing in the world. We'll also bump the priority of this pump up just a little bit, and then we'll see about setting up some plumbing to actually connect all of this together. So the output from this needs to go right up. It's probably going to have to go through the ladder here. I am going to quickly throw down some tiles just to make people a little bit happier being down here in this carbon dioxide filled atmosphere where they can't breathe. Then we'll throw down these pipes and we'll have them kind of run through the floor, up the ladder, through the floor again, and in like that, and then we'll have this one. We'll cancel that, and instead we'll have it connect up right about there, like so. And then, like I said, we're probably going to have to set up like another area, maybe over here for the outflow. We'll have a separate pipe that's going to go kind of down here across, and then maybe over into this area. Although we could just set up like a little pit like right here and have it do it there instead. I'm not quite sure which one I want to do yet, but one thing that I am certain of is that I want to bump up the priority of pretty much everything down here. We can cancel these, I guess. I'm not too bothered about those getting removed as long as someone comes and builds this pump. Is this reachable now? it's still unreachable. Is that because it's fully submerged in water? I think it is, but it might also be due to the fact there's just no ladder. Can I put ladders here like that and like that? Can I put ladders in the water without it affecting kind of the level of the water? I guess we're about to find out. Let's also bump up the priority of all of those as well to make sure this stuff gets done. But now we've got a couple of gas permeable tiles over here. You can see again, the oxygen in the upper parts of the base is fantastic. There's so much oxygen up here. We are having a bit of a problem with oxygen over in this area, but thankfully, this area is not one that anybody spends any time in. You know, the duplicates who make the mush bars stand right here on top of this block and then suck up the water from a distance, and so it shouldn't really be a problem whatsoever, which is great. So this is kind of getting done. They can build a ladder there, but this is still unreachable. They managed to build these pipes. Am I going to have to do some kind of like weird ladder system like this so that they can get over to this area? If I prioritize these at a 6, are they able to like build a ladder here, jump to it, build a ladder, jump to it, and then get all the way over to this area? If they can, that's kind of crazy. It is the end of another day. Let's do a quick check on our reports. How did we do on cycle 13? The amount of oxygen that we are producing is crazy. Did we find some more like oxalite or something over here? Because we are producing just a ridiculous amount of oxygen compared to what we need to produce. Maybe it's the massive amount of carbon dioxide that's down here near the algae terrariums. That might be causing a big increase in the amount of oxygen being produced. Let's schedule up a couple of mush bars for tomorrow. We'll schedule 4 so that we can keep on top of things. And again, power is still fine. We're only wasting 1.7 kilojoules. We produce 120 and consumed 81, so everything there is fine. It looks like that was actually the exact answer that we were on about. People can jump from ladder to ladder here and then actually get down to build this thing. And I'm hoping once they've got that ladder built, can they really not get down there? Really? Is this not... Can you not do this? Unreachable. In that case, let me get rid of these, because they seem a bit useless. Let's get rid of this, and let's cancel this and this, like that. If I put it down, like here, is that gonna work? Surely this will work, right? Let's bump up the priority a little bit to 6. So hopefully those guys will turn back around and get some stuff done. They still need to build these gas permeable tiles up here, but that's fine. That's not super high on our list of priorities. And also, you know what? Yeah, we'll also do a little bit of digging kind of inside of here. So we'll dig out like a nice big area. It doesn't necessarily need to be too big, but we'll do it like this, and we'll build like a little pit to where we can pump out all of the stuff that the air scrubber is going to produce. We are also going to have to dig just a little bit more so they can at least get in here. And as always, we'll bump up the priority to 6 to make sure that it gets done fairly quickly. The liquid pump is almost done. People are just not loving the fact that there's no breathable air down here, which, to be honest, I can't really blame them for. And it might be worthwhile at some point, once we've got this fully set up. I think all the oxygen is going to move down to here, and so it might be worthwhile moving these algae terrariums a bit further down here and making a bit more of a gap either side of this ladder, just like we've done all around the base, to allow the oxygen to more freely move kind of all over the place. And so the idea here is that we're going to have a liquid vent probably like right about here, and then we're going to connect that up to the pipes like this to allow all the outflow from the air scrubber to go around and down and just kind of fill up this area down here. It's not going to be the nicest area in the world. Oh my goodness, is she crying? Okay, the stress levels are up at 66%. Let's make the this here like a priority number 9. I want this to get done as soon as possible. I want people on this massage table reducing their stress like right now. And we should probably also fairly soon look into researching interior decor, which we'll probably do like right now, just so we can start putting some paintings and some statues all around the place, which should hopefully reduce the stress in general as well. I think stress is going to come down after today's episode once we've got this like whole system down here up and running, because at that point we shouldn't have any problem whatsoever with people having to walk around in carbon dioxide filled areas. We can instead have them just kind of chill out in this area up here that is full of really highly concentrated oxygen, which is fantastic. Right now, Joshua's on the table. We should probably tweak this a little bit. And so if I'm not mistaken, the way that this works is somebody, duplicates must take a break when their stress reaches 50, which people are not doing. And then break time ends when stress reaches 0. We'll change this to like 20 for now, just because I don't want one person staying on here too long and everybody else not being able to access that. This is so almost done. Joshua can't breathe down here, which is not good, but we're so very close to having our air scrubber, which is all but useless at this point, ready to go. I guess what we might do is put like an airlock here so that all the carbon dioxide does sit on this area. Do we have airlocks? We've got a manual airlock, but I don't think that we can put it like here. I think we have to build it like on a platform like that. And so that is going to be a little bit of a pain. But you know what? I'll put an airlock here and here, and we'll put tiles here and here, just to try and keep the carbon dioxide up here. I know we've just done a lot of work to get rid of the carbon dioxide that's up here, but I want the algae terrariums to have at least a little bit of carbon dioxide. You can see right now they're not really getting enough carbon dioxide, to the point where we might end up back in the situation where we're not producing enough oxygen. Although, again, yesterday we did produce way more oxygen than we consumed, but so far today the exact opposite is true. We're starting to produce less oxygen than we're consuming, which is not great. Let's schedule up our 4 mush bars like that. This thing is ready to go, I think. We might just have to put down one more pipe to connect it up to the actual... Ooh, that's not right. Instead, okay, I'm gonna have to deconstruct this pipe here. Let's go to the pipe overlay, deconstruct this, because what we need to do is we need to have a bridge that connects like that, so that we can then have... Is that right? I think that's fine. I'm not quite sure. I think we got the direction the wrong way, because it says here input and output. Yeah, so that's definitely the wrong way around. So we need to cancel that, and then we need to press O to rotate. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this right this time. So we do this, we press O to rotate, and then we put it down like that. Is that going to get built correctly? The water's flowing this way, and then what we're going to have is we're going to have another pipe that comes down, across, and through like that. And then once all that's done, we might have to move this storage compactor, because it looks like maybe we can't put down tiles over the top of these bridges, possibly? I'm not quite sure. Stress is up at 69%. Stress is crazy high. Marie's stress is on its way down, but Sarah is still super stressed, which is not good whatsoever. Let me quickly bump this up to a 6 so we can get it done. I'm also going to cancel these ones over here, because I don't think any of that needs doing just yet. The airlocks are almost all in place, which is good. We're just missing the one over here. Carbon dioxide is starting to fill back up this tunnel, and will hopefully start to appear down here some point soon. You know, this is like the only time in this game where I actually want carbon dioxide to be here, and it's just not at all here, which is not the best, although we still are producing more oxygen than we're consuming, which is good. This is now online. The air scrubber is working, although it does say empty pipe. That's probably because this thing, yep, doesn't have any power, and so we're going to do something a little weird. I guess we should probably put down tiles kind of around like this, and then build the power cables into the tiles like this, possibly, and then have that continue up the ladder and connect up there. And then also do this, and can we do that? Can we have the power cable go in the same block as the pipe here? I'm assuming we can. We should probably move that storage compactor as soon as possible. I do not like the fact that Mima is angry and is breaking things, or looks like she's going to break things, but that is almost certainly due to the very high levels of stress, caused mostly by Dirty Hands and Grimy. And so I think our priority for next episode is going to have to be getting down the hand sanitizer, getting down the showers, and getting down the lavatory, so that people can actually start to feel a little bit cleaner, and hopefully start to get that stress down just a little bit. I did see a very quick notification in the top left there telling me that we weren't producing enough oxygen, which was a little bit scary, but it does seem to have stabilized itself. But with that, guys, I'm going to pause here and end this episode of Oxygen Not Included there. We're in a bit of a sticky situation right now. We're in a bit of a mess. We are apparently low on power, but I think that's probably just due to the fact that some of our cables are not quite connected up properly. Yeah, we don't have this cable down here. Once this is finished, which is very close to being done, we can start working on lowering everybody's stress, getting some sanitation up and running, and then just kind of progressing on, keep working towards a reliable food source. We have got our first mealwood here, which we'll harvest at the beginning of next episode, setting up some more mealwood over on the left, doing some more research, unlocking some decor so we can try and make the place look a little bit nicer and try and get rid of that stress even more. But again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like. It really does help out a lot. Lets me know that you want to see more of this kind of video, and I will see you guys next time.